Hey guys, welcome back to some more Broken Sword. Shadow of the Templars Reforged. Welcome back, everyone. Last time we... What did we do? Oh, we were in Ireland, weren't we? I think. Yes, we were. We finished up Ireland last time. And now we've made our way back. And now we've heard a little bit about this guy called Jack Marquet, who... I don't know if we're going to see in this video. I don't think so. If again, every time I play Broken Sword 1, my memories of... in which order we visit locations is always messed up. It's always messy. But I know I think we're gonna go and see Lobino today. Actually go and see him. I think he's gonna be at the museum. But I think first thing is first, we're gonna go to the police station. We're gonna take another trip to the police station. Because I believe there's something to trigger there, if I remember rightly. Yes, let's go there first. Rosso is here as well. Let's go and have a chat with the boys. Been a while.
Excuse me.
Ah, Monsieur Stobbart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
Now, again, because we're doing this through chapter select, I've got a feeling some of this we may have heard already when we previously did it. So... well, he wouldn't have known about this because we did that recently, I believe. Yeah, we did. The clown. We'll go back through it all again anyway. Let's just do it.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, my memory of this is completely messed up again. Because I think we find out through Sergeant Moo that Marquet is at which hospital, and I think that's what then leads us to go to the hospital. But I think what we will do is we'll do what we need to do here. We'll give Nico a kick. I'm not going to kick her. We'll give Nico a quick ring to see if we can tell her anything about it once we find out some more info. And then if the hospital is a choice, before that we'll go back to the museum to see if Lobino is there. And then once we're done with Lobino, we will then probably move on to the hospital. Yeah.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic. In the Avenue des Hérissons.
There we go.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Literally just going around digging up people's lawns.
I'd like to report an assault.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see.
Thugs.
And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel.
Great.
Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Oh, he knows them. He knows them.
What are you going to do about Flap and Guido, Sergeant?
I'm going to bust them, monsieur. For years I have been hoping to pin something on that pair. Now's my chance. I'll show them. And the inspector.
Thanks, Sergeant. Thanks for taking me seriously.
I'm only doing my duty, monsieur.
Such a good Sarge.
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes.
I was going to say, yeah.
I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume.
Oh, interesting. Everything else that was on that thing has just gone. Right, well, before we ask for Rosso, because that's what that's going to be, we're going to go through the new things that we've got since. See, I can't even remember what we had the last time we came here. I think we already had all this. Had this. Didn't have this, I don't think.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Misconstrued. We didn't have this for sure.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you, Sergeant?
That's a double-line Swedish with a crosshatch Bergman strike strip. Now, that's unusual. Pre-war Anderson hinging.
Really?
I haven't seen a reinforced Anderson outside of a private collection.
It's rare, then?
In this part of the world, yes. There are only 3 places these are made. Taiwan, Manila, and Slough.
Slough, of all places.
Does the name Merlin mean anything to you, Sergeant?
Nothing, monsieur.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forget that we're carrying this around. Probably not the best thing to be doing. But, you know. Yeah.
Maybe not.
I was going to say, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Oh, it's only plaster of Paris, George. What are you worried about? He's going to start sniffing it?
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, please.
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
Did we speak to him last time? Was he here last time? It's been so
Stobbart is here
long.
to see you, monsieur.
Then again,
Did he say
yeah.
what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Oh, look at the old graphics. The poster in his office on the right-hand side is completely different. Actually, a picture of somebody.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobbart, my mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed,
Oh.
but I've been taken off the case.
What about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
And now again, I can't remember if we've already heard this. We might not have. I think maybe when we came here the first time, Rosso wasn't even here. I think that's it. Maybe he wasn't here the first time we came here. But there's a lot to talk to him about, so...
Ever heard of a guy called Marquet? Jacques Marquet?
Marquet, I know the name well. He has a record for suspected blackmail, kidnapping, arson, and art theft.
An all-rounder, huh? How come he's on the loose?
His bravado is matched only by the courtroom skills of his attorney.
Have you heard of Professor Pegram, the archaeologist?
Molly Pegram, the second son of Lord Barclay Pegram.
Well, I don't know. I only read about him in a magazine.
So much for the efficacy of rehabilitation. What has he done this time?
He made an important archaeological find in Ireland.
Oh, you ended that so abruptly, George. I was like, more?
Do you know Pegram well?
I have connections with the family, but I wouldn't say I knew him at all.
Is his name really Molly?
Of course not. That was the nickname he was given at school.
Ah,
All his friends and acquaintances know him as Molly.
interesting.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No, you must forget the business of the crown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobbart.
He ain't gonna do that, is he?
Do you know a pair of thugs called Flap and Guido?
I have known those two since they graduated from special school. Flap is a nasty piece of work, but Guido is the real brains of the partnership. Where did you hear of them?
I met them out front of the Hotel Ubu.
Sure, yeah, sure did.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
What was that psycho-detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
Yeah.
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties, until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for Fun and Profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at a funeral.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
You're not going to try any of that psychic interrogation on me, are you?
Do you find the thought of my probing distasteful?
Let's just say I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet.
He's very careful. Yeah, like when they were talking about bending spoons, I was like, "What is Rosso like? Is he part of the Matrix? Like, oh, shit."
Would you care to shake my hand, Inspector?
Please don't be offended if I decline your offer, Stobbart. The palms of my hands are particularly sensitive.
Because of the palm, the psychic stuff. I get it.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur. I suggest you ask Sergeant Moo about that.
I already did.
God only knows why, but he collects matchbooks. He claims it is a hobby.
Does the name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, monsieur, nothing.
It's another one of the assumed names used by the killer.
Ah, the famous killer clown case.
Yeah. You might have forgotten all about it, but I still aim to find that guy.
Yep. I'm assuming George is going to say maybe not.
What do you make of this, Inspector?
Astounding. Where did you come by a stone like that?
I was given it by a man in a bar in Ireland. Do you recognize the gem?
It is unfamiliar to me. If such a jewel had been stolen, I would know it for sure.
Interesting. Interesting that he would show Rosso, but not show Inspector Moo. That's, yeah, well, I wonder why.
What do you make of this white powder, Rosso?
It is plaster.
Just kidding.
Say, you're good.
Just kidding. Right. Okay.
So long, Inspector.
Bye. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done here. I'm going to try and call Nico. Nothing may come of it, but we'll try anyway. See if she has, or she's interested. Yeah, look, see, it's added Marquet now to the piece of paper, so I think the hospital is available now.
It's George. I've tracked down that guy Marquet.
That's great news.
Yeah, if I get to see him, I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Right, yeah, so yeah, the hospital's definitely going to be available to us now, but I think we will go to... Actually, you know what? I want to go back to the cafe, because I don't think we've shown this off yet. Now that they're back... Oh, the dude's not here anymore either. I wonder if we can speak to this guy. Because I don't often do this stuff, like go back to areas we've already been to. So I'm wondering if there's like extra dialogue now that we know what we know. Hello.
Hi there. Remember me?
Ah, mais oui, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
Who?
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. That reminds me, someone's been impersonating you. Came sniffing around just after you'd gone. Bold as brass. He tried to tell me he was a policeman. Inspector Rosso,
Okay.
he claimed.
Okay.
I didn't tell him I'd been talking to you, not hours before.
Thank goodness. Impersonating a police officer is a serious offense. A man with so little respect for the law must be desperate.
Yes, my father used to say, desperation opens the door to the devil. He was always coming out with things like that. Stupid man. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
I'm glad I came back here now. This guy's great.
Shake my hand. Go on, shake it.
You're joking, aren't you? Nothing personal, but you've been mucking about down this sewer.
That makes sense. I get that.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
I can't say I do, monsieur.
Does the name Merlin or Gruber Electronics mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Aha! Is it real? It must be worth a small fortune.
A very large fortune, I'd say. Do you know anything about it?
No, monsieur.
Best that you
what
don't.
What does this powder mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
Okay. Well, that's that then.
I have to be going.
Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
Thanks. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad I came back here. With like stuff like this, I just don't think to do. Like I've never really done it before. But yeah, he's not here. Interesting. But yeah, if we go back towards the cafe, I'm pretty sure it's now all boarded up. Yeah, there we go. So we can't actually go in there anymore. I think there's a... Is it... Oh, they might have fixed it. There was a bug in this where you'd click... I don't know if I might have shown it in the video. But if I didn't, yeah, there was a bug. If you clicked on here, like George would walk into like the like onto the wood as if like it's like an area to go to. It was really bizarre. But this had an update yesterday, so maybe that fixed a few issues. I don't actually know what the update was. But yeah, there we go, guys. The Café de la Chandelle... Oh my god. Café de la Chandelle Vert is now boarded up, so we cannot investigate further there. But that was cool. I'm glad I came back here. So I think we'll go take a quick trip over to the museum again. Because I think... I'm pretty sure Andre's there now. Music-room, yeah. Because obviously the last time we were here was just before we went to Ireland, so... No, Andre wasn't here, it was just the museum guard. Okay, Andre is here. So let's have a chat.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Hello.
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John Dee.
And we've heard the name before.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
All right.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
Ah.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
Right.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
Okay.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
I mean, it's got to be good if it's, you know, if it's one of the most, you know, expensive pieces in your museum. So
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does.
Yeah, it doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you see? If I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history.
At your age? Dream on.
crush the man's dreams, George. Crush the man's dreams. So not only does he not know anything about half the stuff in the museum that he's working in, he's just making up shit as he goes along. And he doesn't know anything about the tripod either. Right. What didn't we have when we saw you last? We had this. I think it's just these two things.
I found this gem at a medieval site in Ireland.
That means nothing to me, monsieur.
How did you manage to get this job?
I had the right qualifications, a military manner, school week issues, and an irrational hatred of children.
Okay.
Does this white powder mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Right, well, let's go and talk to the man that we've been waiting to talk
He was
to.
a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that. I beg your pardon. Are you André Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Shoot. Yeah, so we got quite a few things to talk to Lobineau about. Obviously, the main one being the manuscript. That's the whole reason we're here. Because, you know, George and Nico themselves couldn't quite understand the manuscript too well, so they wanted to get professional opinion on it, hence Lobineau. So,
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
lovely.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn! That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
We've got a lot to talk about, Lobineau.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Okay.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure. He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
Dude.
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambitions. Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
Okay.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date. At dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
That must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars, literally.
Oh, he's got
Hundreds
jokes.
of them were found guilty of heresy and flame-grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
Dark jokes. Can we just say that now? Dark jokes. Okay.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet.
Ah, yes, I
And then
remember.
suggested to the victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps.
Oh, hang on.
What would you not admit to stop such torment?
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
I'm trying. Yeah, the Baphomet thing. He was talking about there. I swear to God, we're going to see something like that a little bit later on in the game. I'm hoping it's the same thing I'm thinking of.
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
Well, to talk about the thing that we came here for.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Hmm.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie.
Georgie.
Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information on that.
Right?
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
Guy knows his shit.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Hmm.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained a mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Yeah, like hypes it all up. Do you think it's true? Nah, not at all.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye. Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf.
Now, I'm pretty sure if I click on Nico's name, George will just give him her address. I want to try something here. So we're going to say goodbye.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
We're going to leave. And I'm going to give Nico a call and see if George actually asks her, is it okay for me to give him your address? Because I've never tried it. But I'm going to go find out. It could be wasting my time here. But I'm going to go check. We might as well go to... Yeah, we might as well go to the police station. Yeah, the hospital and Montfaucon are now areas that we can now go to. So in fact, I've probably got an idea of what I want to do. Alright, let's see if this works.
Hi, it's George.
What do you want now?
Just to hear your voice.
I'm busy.
Oh, okay. I'll see you later.
Damn it, no, okay, it doesn't work. That's fine. It's only because George is like, well, I should check with her first, see if, you know, if it's okay to give her address to this guy. But, okay. It was worth checking, though. That was fun. So, yeah, we're learning a little bit more about the Knights Templar, the sort of perform it as well. Okay, let's talk to him again.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
Right.
This friend who has the manuscript,
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
she lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Why does he sound like he's... you know what he sounds like. Right, let's talk to him about this stuff.
What do you make of this tool?
Interesting. Where did you get it?
From a dig in Paris.
Vraiment? I didn't realize there were any excavations in progress in the city.
There isn't.
Take a look at this nose, Lobino.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Georgie.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing.
Yeah, we're probably going to get a
Does
lot
the
of
guy
this.
in this photograph look familiar to you?
No,
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
not now, Georgie.
Damn it.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Halamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
I'm pretty sure we're going to learn about the Hashashin as well soon. Not now, but very, very soon.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Peagram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Okay.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
All right. Well, I think we're pretty much done with Andre for now, at least.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Until we find out some more info. Now, of course, the main place for us to go is probably the hospital. But I think I'm going to leave the hospital because the hospital is pretty much its own section. So I'm going to leave that for the next video. But what we will do, because Montfaucon is an area that we can now go to, we're going to head there first. We're going to check it out. Montfaucon is an area that I think right now there's not really much here for us to do. But there will be later on. But we might as well come check it out. Oh god. Yes, this gentleman.
Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
Hello.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Oh.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
I think he's pissed as a fart. That's what I think.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does it mean anything to you?
Do you belong to some obscure arm of the Masons?
No.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
This guy.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Then please put yours away.
Fair point. Fair point.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh,
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd
Yeah.
rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern. Beyond that, who knows?
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician. My
Yes.
TV has been acting up. Could you fix it?
I doubt it. This isn't my ID.
Just whip round, fix the old
Look at
smart
this gem.
telly.
What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
Yeah. I said go around and fix his smart TV. This was like 1996. This game came out. No, yeah, we were still dealing with them big fuck off box TVs at that time. You remember them?
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven.
For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Hello, the paperwork. You have no idea.
I know I was joking about that a lot, but it's funny that
I'll
they
see you
make a
around.
joke about it.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Right, yes, the policeman.
A typically Parisian sidewalk cafe. Last time I visited one of those, it blew up. I decided I
Yeah.
was happy enough right where I was.
Okay, yeah, you can't actually go into that cafe, but we'll take a quick... What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look around Montfaucon, and then we're probably going to end the video there for today.
In the middle of the square was a manhole. I wondered if there might be something relevant beneath street level.
Yes, this is going to come into play a little bit later on, but seeing as though the policeman or the gendarme is in our presence, I don't think he's going to let us do that, so...
Fixed to the wall was a sign in 3 languages. In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Oof. Oof.
An architectural echo of the gallows that once used to stand here.
Yeah, so they used to hang people there. Yeah, we're gonna go into the church now. In Broken Sword 2, spoilers, you come back here. This is actually one of the first areas you visit in Broken Sword 2, but in Broken Sword 2, you can actually go this way. There's an area this way, but we obviously can't do it in this game. But I love that you revisited this area in Broken Sword 2. But let's go into the church. Let's go and have a look. Have a quick snoop around, and then we'll call it there for today. There's, yeah, a lot of well, yeah, let's take a look at what it used to look like. Wow, look at that. It was definitely more darker, I think, in here.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa!
I was like, what is my game stop? What's happening? George was just thinking. Let's go and have a look at these.
Waiting in prayer for the judgment day.
Yes, now the church...
A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state.
The church itself is going to have more significance later on. Now, we technically revisit this place 3 times. The next time we visit here is going to have to do with us going down into the sewer. And then the 3rd and final time we revisit this place is going to have to do with this church and the stuff in it. I won't say what stuff in it, but yeah, it's definitely a cool moment, at least for me.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world, I guess. A knight there in the company of his fellows. A stone knight lay on the church floor. Just think, there's a dead guy under there.
Yep.
The second stone knight in a row of 4 lay on the church floor. I was surprised Philip le Bel had left this place alone.
It's very pretty looking. Nice stained glass windows.
A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling.
Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
We'll check all these
A
out.
stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
We can check this. Yep.
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll.
Maybe some significance, George.
The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, the staff.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported.
Right. Back to America you go.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow.
Yep, that's going to come back into play later
Hoping
on.
for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
Yeah, like I say, that is going to come into play much later on. That's all I'm going to say on that. I do not want to spoil any more. But let's get out of here. And I think, ladies and gents, we're going to call that an episode for today. I would like to get the full section of the hospital done, because it's pretty epic. A lot happens. There's some funny pieces in there. And I feel like the hospital deserves its own episode. So I think for today, we're going to end it off here in Montfaucon. And I will join each and every one of you next time for some more Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Reforged. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, be healthy, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.